In Frozen 2, Disney fans got to follow Elsa and Anna on a journey to discover who Elsa was truly meant to be, as well as what really happened in their kingdom's history. The movie followed Elsa as she learned about a place known as Ahtohallan that was said to be a magical river full of memories, and apparently held all the secrets and answers to the past. As Elsa finally managed to reach Ahtohallan, she was not only able to discover her destiny, but also the secret of her family's history and the fact that her grandfather betrayed the people of Northuldra and killed their leader. Throughout the film, we saw Elsa being guided by a mysterious voice that she felt compelled to listen to as it pulled her in the proper direction. For a while, fans had speculated that Elsa was being guided by another elemental spirit, or even some form of spirit version of herself, seeing as how she is the fifth element. Well, it would turn out that the directors of the film have confirmed that the voice was actually Queen Iduna, Elsa's mother, guiding her in the right direction. Now, the fact that this theory has been confirmed by the directors of the film has led to a lot of speculation as to what really happened to Elsa and Anna's parents, with many fans now speculating that the two may actually still be alive somewhere, helping their children break another curse different from the one set on Arendelle that we saw in Frozen 2, and one that we actually hinted at in another one of our videos. In fact, the more you look into this one, the more convincing it gets. In the second Frozen film, we saw our heroes Elsa and Anna try their best to save the kingdom of Arendelle and the land around them. This meant for Anna that she would have to do her best to take care of the people of Northuldra as well as the Arendellian soldiers who had been trapped in the woods for decades. And for Elsa, this meant that she would have to go on a journey of her own to find out why she had been gifted with the powers that she had and how she would be able to use them to save her people and those who were trapped. On her journey, Elsa had to face the other elemental spirits who had been in a state of unrest. Elsa got to meet Bruni, the blue salamander that started out like a raging force of flames before Elsa found him. And her being his counterpart, Ice, she was able to cool him down. Literally, Gale and the Earth Giants were more of a presence than direct threats. The people of Northuldra and the soldiers all feared the Earth Giants, but the main problem for Elsa came from the Knock, the sea spirit that took the shape of a horse and nearly killed Elsa as she tried to make her way to Ahtohallan. As she was making her way across the Dark Sea and toward Ahtohallan, Elsa came face to face with a treacherous, familiar-looking storm. The waves were towering over her as she tried her best to cut through them with her ice and continue forward. However, it wasn't long before they had managed to overtake her and bring her under. Once fully submerged, she came face to face with the most treacherous foe that she had faced up until that point, Knock the Water Spirit. Now, Knock was enraged and was trying everything in its power to drown Elsa. It honestly looked like it was all over for her. However, she managed to think and act quickly and ended up taming the beast to an extent, and Knock actually ended up seeing her safely to shore. Now, many people who watched the film thought that this was the closest that Elsa had come to dying, but when you take a closer look at what happens to her at Ahtohallan, it's clear that she was in much more danger than she or any of us originally believed. I mean, as you know, upon arriving at Ahtohallan, Elsa finally learns the truth about her family and what her grandfather did to the people of Northuldra that caused so much damage. During this scene, we also see Elsa begin to turn into an ice sculpture. She literally begins to freeze in place as if her powers were no longer protecting her from themselves. Well, it turns out that when this was happening to Elsa, she was actually in the process of dying. And had she not used her powers in a last-ditch effort to get a hold of Anna, she likely would have been gone for good. This would certainly explain why at the same time that Elsa began to freeze in place, her powers and everything that she did with them began to dissipate. This included Olaf, who, as we know, almost left us heartbroken after disappearing in front of Anna. And the movie itself didn't give us a direct explanation as to why this would happen to Elsa. The only thing that seems clear is that the deeper that she was diving into the deep dark memories of what happened in the past, the more she became trapped and frozen in place. Essentially, the more she understood, the worse things got for Elsa, and there was nothing that she could do about it. By the time she had learned about what King Runard had done with the dam and the people of Northuldra, it was too late. She had gone too deep and was now in the process of losing her life forever. Lucky for her, as we said, she thought quickly and managed to get a message to her sister Anna, who, once again, became her savior. It was with the information from Elsa that Anna realized that she was needed to destroy the dam in order to lift the curse off of the enchanted forest. And after doing so, Anna had managed to undo the wrongs of her people. With the assistance of the Earth Giants, Anna saved the enchanted forest, and when the water began flowing from the dam down into the fjord, Elsa ended up being freed from her icy prison, along with having her powers restored to her, meaning that she was once again saved by her younger sister. But had Anna not gotten there in time, or managed to receive Elsa's message, Elsa would have likely been trapped in ice, basically dead, forever. Now, one thing we found ourselves asking after seeing Elsa come back from being frozen is, what are the chances that her and Anna's parents made it out of the shipwreck and met the same icy fate as their daughter? Could that mean that they are still alive in some way, or would it be possible for them to be saved like Elsa was? It certainly seems possible and would definitely make for a decent third film. But there is one thing that a lot of people will want to know, and that is, why weren't they unfrozen like Elsa was when the curse was broken? Now, this question makes a lot of sense, and it's one that a lot of people would probably be asking themselves, but we think that we may have figured it out, and oddly enough, it actually would connect to a theory that we mentioned in one of our previous videos. I'm not sure if you remember or have seen the video, but in one that we uploaded a few months ago, we brought up the fact that there is most likely a sixth spirit that has yet to reveal itself. We believe the sixth spirit to be that of lightning, and we also believe that we have heard her name already when Olaf was speaking to Gale. If we're correct, then the sixth spirit is none other than Samantha, and much like Elsa did for Bruni, she would play a major role in calming down Nock, the water spirit, and that in turn could potentially free Elsa's parents. As you may remember from our other video, we mentioned that the elemental spirits tend to have their opposite spirit, and the two work off of one another to keep balance. We even talked about it a bit before with the fact that Elsa, the ice spirit, was able to calm down Bruni, the fire spirit. Well, this was because the two brought balance to one another. Well, the same goes for all of the spirits. Gale and the earth giants go hand in hand, just as Nock should have a spirit to help him balance out. Well, we firmly believe that that spirit is Samantha, the lightning spirit. Only she could truly bring Nock to a state of peace. Elsa may have temporarily tamed the spirit in Frozen 2, but when she let go of the reins, Nock likely went back into the same agitated state that it had been in before. And when you think about it, that makes a lot of sense. The spirit won't fully be able to find peace until the cause of the sixth element's disappearance is revealed and the curse is somehow broken. I mean, sure, Anna managed to break the curse that King Runard caused, but that might not have had anything to do with the reason that Nock is so enraged. Therefore, it would have had no effect on their potentially frozen parents. As we know, Anna and Elsa's parents went down in a shipwreck in the Dark Sea, presumably caused by an enraged Nock who had been trying to keep anything away from Holland that the spirit perceived as dangerous or a threat. And the movie would have us believe that both of their parents were now deceased and likely lost to the icy depths of the sea. Well, what if that wasn't the case? What if their parents ended up somehow making it ashore to Holland? During Frozen 2, when Elsa manages to find the shipwreck that apparently cost her parents their lives, she ends up using the memories that had been trapped in the water and the wood of the ship to see what happened to them, and what she saw would make most people think that they had met a terrible fate. In the vision, Elsa saw her two parents embracing one another as water began to flow around them violently, and then it ends with everyone assuming they went down with the ship. But what if these memories that this section of the ship contained were not the only memories? It would make sense that they would only be able to gain the knowledge that the water itself experienced, right? So if their parents had managed to make their way to another section of the ship and make it out alive, that memory wouldn't have been in the section that they found. Unfortunately, due to the fact that a lot of the ship was missing and likely never to be found again, Elsa would have been unable to gain any memories from any other piece of the wreckage, so she would be none the wiser if they did indeed make it. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that the two did in fact survive the wreckage and made it to Holland. It's likely that they would have dived into the dark memories just like Elsa did when she managed to make it there. And like Elsa, they would have slowly turned to ice as they delved deeper and deeper. Only, what if they had been discovering the memories of a different curse altogether? What if they had unknowingly been looking into what happened to Samantha, the missing element? Meanwhile, until the sixth element is saved, their parents would remain frozen in a location unknown to Anna and Elsa. Now, to make things even more interesting, what if, much like Elsa sent the message to Anna that ultimately saved her, their mother sent a similar message to Elsa? I mean, the directors have already confirmed that their mother was the voice speaking to Elsa this entire time, guiding her on a path that would ultimately lift the curse and show her that she was the fifth element. What if this is Queen Iduna using her connection to Elsa as a last-ditch effort to guide Elsa not only to lift the Arendelle curse, which they did at the end of Frozen 2, but also lift the curse on the sixth element, thereby saving not only the sixth element, but also themselves, aka the trapped frozen parents in Holland that have been there since their ship went down in the raging waters by Nock. Maybe that's something that we will find out in Frozen 3 should it ever be announced. As of right now, there has been little mention about a third installment into the Frozen franchise. However, it seems likely that it will happen in the near future due to the sheer popularity behind the first two films in the series. Many fans are eagerly awaiting for any announcements about a Frozen 3 in the future, and with the waiting comes time for fans to come up with great theories about the series. So what do you guys think? Do you think the third film will have something to do with them saving Elsa and Anna's parents, or will it have to do with something entirely different? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. As for now, that's all, Disney fans. Let us know what topic you'd like to see next in the comments, and like and subscribe for more magically packed videos.